Hello, everyone. Raymond Mhor, Kilted Pepper. How's everybody doing this fine Saturday morning? Wanted to come in here and just say hi and do a follow up to my tangible assets series that I was doing. In my last video, I talked about tobacco. Today, we are talking about alcohol. But first, I want to just welcome all you folks here. If you're new, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and then ring that little bell if you want to be notified of new videos or when we go live and things like that. Interesting things going on in the world today. Actually, this week was really a mover and shaker. We saw gold hit 2060, 2060 and 80 cents is what gold high hit. The record high is actually 270, and so just $10 short. And I really believe that we're going to see gold hit the 270 mark here in the very near future. But what is also interesting is that we're seeing more and more countries calling for ditching the dollar. And in fact, what we saw was the president of Brazil coming out and actually encouraging a lot of the BRICS nations to actually ditch the dollar. And so a lot of things going on. And then, oh, Kenya's president, and this was an interesting one for sure. Kenya's president actually urged his fellow countrymen to basically get rid of their dollars and saying that they were going to be worthless in a couple weeks. And so that's a big thing, folks. I mean, him calling out and telling his fellow Kenyans to ditch the dollar and basically something's going to go south in a couple weeks. My question is, does he know something different than what we know? Has he been clued in on something or something? I don't know. So, hey, Michael, how you doing, bud? Um, so what does this mean? It means that a lot of countries are starting to ditch the dollar. And what happens is when our money is being ditched. Guess where it's coming back to? So we're going to be seeing dollars flood into the US like crazy. And what that's going to cause is inflation. I mean, to give you an idea, how do you like having a ham and cheese sandwich for $29? I mean, can you even think of that? Spending 29 bucks for a ham sandwich? I mean, that's actually ridiculous. In a previous video, I talked about tangible assets. And this one is, the last one was the tobacco. And I talked about cigars and pipe tobacco and why cigarettes are not good and everything. But I also, want to continue this series and go back to another tangible asset. And that is, alcohol or booze. Uh, hey, Michael. And hey, Michael. We got two Michaels in the room here, so I want to say hi. Hey, guys, how you doing? But tobacco is a good tangible asset, and what tangible assets are something that hold their value or go up in value. What are people willing to buy or trade or spend to get these items? And the tobacco is a vice, and then so is alcohol. And alcohol also is considered, it has medicinal purpose and everything like that as well. But it's a vice, and I find that vice items are good tangible assets, so that you'll be able to barter and trade these things. Now, just to let you guys know, I am not a financial planner, financial expert. If you have any concerns or something, talk to your financial planner. So that's my gratuitous disclaimer here. So everything I've talked about here are things that I do and what we have done. And so it's interesting to see that alcohol has actually done very well in the market here in the recent years. And in fact, what we've seen here is Scotch has basically outperformed the S&P 500. Now, this is from 2009 to 2018, but even if you Google Scotch or you Googled the alcohol and everything, how is it performing? against the S&P 500. You'll see a lot of articles and a lot of charts and everything. Even to this day, alcohol is outperforming the S&P 500. So wine, and this is interesting. This date was from June 27th, 2021 to January 27th, 2022. So 6 months basically. And this is showing that wine has actually also gone up. Now, these are fine wines, and I'm someone who's not much of a fine wine connoisseur or anything like that. You got to have a special place to keep your wine. You got to keep it at a certain temperature. You got to rotate it all the time, all this other stuff. Where if anything, I'm more of a Scotch or whiskey person, because basically it likes to live where you live, and you don't have to muck with the bottles or anything like that. But wine, again, shows that it has outperformed. And again, Google this stuff, do your own research so that you see that, yeah, man, he's right, and things. And then also, if you do see something wrong, let me know. Am I off the track here or something? Let me know. But at least in a lot of my research, I found that alcohol is a good poor man's investment. And I don't want to use the word investment. I should use the word preserving your wealth, because you can buy it at a certain price, and odds are when SHTF happens, you're going to be able to sell it at a higher price. And so, the question is what do you buy? Well, here's interesting. This is from 2019, and this is the global consumption and what spirits did well. The number one spirit was, let's see, vodka. The number two spirit was whiskey, and then the number three spirit was rum. And then they mixed in all the others and everything, so there's a whole others sort of category. But if you're going to look into to getting booze in your tangible asset collection, then vodka, whiskey, rum. Those are the top three that people like to have and they like to spend on. And so, what I've done here is I wanted to show you some of my examples of what I've got. And for example, this is called Spirit of the Apocalypse, and it was made for The Walking Dead and everything. But it's actually a pretty good whiskey, and you might still be able to find it nowadays. When I did purchase this was selling for somewhere around $23 a bottle, and the reason I like it is because it is a Walking Dead associated whiskey. It was actually a decent whiskey. I've tried actually several bottles of these, and this is one of them that I held back just for tangible asset purposes. But this is actually a decent whiskey. It's got a good flavor, good taste, not too harsh on the tongue or anything for an inexpensive whiskey. But it's these sort of whiskeys that I like to buy, just because one, they taste good, but two, they kind of hold their value. It would be interesting to see what this is selling for. I mean, odds are it's probably gone over $30 a bottle now, because it was a limited run and it's hard to find. And if you do find it out there, I encourage you to get a couple bottles, try it yourself so you know what you're talking about. But this is actually a decent whiskey. So I bought this again at 21 or $22 a bottle. So another one, and this is more for the Texas drinkers, is this is called Balcones Texas Bach. And anybody who knows Shiner or Shiner beer, it's very famous Texas beer. What they did is they took that Shiner beer and they made a Shiner whiskey. And this is what this came out to be. Super great whiskey, very hard to find. They've been tempted to make it a run again. This is a limited edition or limited run, so you're not going to be finding this anywhere anytime soon. I was lucky to find this bottle, just before we moved here to Virginia, but they will probably be making more. But because this is a limited run, to me, this is a good tangible asset because it's very, very hard to find. It was very well liked and very sought after. And so I bought this for something like $35. And so if I would put it out on the market today, it'd probably go a lot higher, especially if it for someone in Texas. So that's another example. Again, this is a local distillery. Look for local distilleries in your area and see what special blends or special releases or something that they have. This was a special release, so I always tend to get those. Another one here is this is a Horse Soldier. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, and it was about the special forces ops that went into Afghanistan before everybody else was in there and everything. And the guys who returned actually got together and decided to put together a distillery. Well, this is a signed bottle by, was it Mark Nutzel? And or I forget his name, but he was one of the guys who helped start Horse Soldier. And so this is a signed bottle and dated and numbered. So but very good thing to have. Again, this is kind of a small distillery. It's probably well known out there and things, but because it's signed and everything, I'm keeping this as one of my tangible asset bottles. So now other things that you can do. I am really super big fan of mini bottles. These are great tangible assets. People, trade them. This could be used for a good barterable item. Uh, I really love having these on hand, and I've got a number of different types. Again, this is a Texas vodka. So I got vodka, and then this is again by Balcones, another Texas whiskey. But these do really well. These are going to be very good, and you can go in and say, "Hey, man, I'll trade you this, this, and this for a little small bottle of that." And so the positive about this is that you can trade one of these versus trading one of these. So having these small bottles at hand, kind of look at this as like a $20 bill or a $50 bill. And maybe this is like a $1 or $5 bill. So, smaller denomination, quote unquote. And great little thing. And then another thing that I like are unusual bottles. This is basically a tequila. It's a salto. It's I forget what they make it from, but it's a form of tequila. But I liked this bottle, very unusual, very neat. And unusual bottles will also probably trade very well just because people want the bottles. Again, during hard times, people are going to have, a lot of rationing, a lot of hard times finding stuff and everything. And so cute little bottles of whiskey or such are also, I think, a very good thing to have on hand. Now, a really good tangible asset, if anybody knows this, is Johnny Walker Blue Label. This bottle cost me $32, I want to say 30, 35, somewhere around there. I can't remember what, but no, 27. This was actually $27. And Blue Label is actually the best whiskey that Johnny Walker makes, and very, very on the expensive side. Very good, very smooth, nice smoky peat flavor and everything. Very good sipping stuff. But this comes in a cute little box. So you can see, nice little box, nice tangible asset. And this will definitely hold its value. So a Johnny Walker Blue Label mini bottle, and this is a good tangible asset. So these are tangible assets that I like to have in regards to alcohol, and these are some of the things that I've put back for my tangible asset collection, I call it. And so these are some of the things that you can do as well, because again, what we're seeing is that alcohol definitely does, break or bypass the S&P. And, again, it does very well. So look into these things, maybe add these to a tangible asset collection and start looking at other tangible assets. Other tangible assets that I always encourage is like Excalibur dehydrator, Nutrimil's grain mill, a food saver vacuum storage bags. All these things are great tangible assets because these are things that'll last 10 years plus and help you continue to preserve your food. Other tangible assets, like I've done in my previous video, was tobacco. And then today's video, we were talking about alcohol. Not everybody has a bazillion dollars that they can drop in gold. And so, what other things can us common guys do to maybe preserve some of our wealth, have some stuff that will be, tangible, used for barter, trade, sale, and so forth in the future? And so this is why I'm presenting these videos, and I want to do some even more others, so give you some ideas of tangible assets. I talk a lot about this in my book, Survive the Coming Storm, The Poor Man's Guide. And it's the poor man's guide to preserving the wealth in economic collapse, because this is what's coming. You can check it out on Amazon. The link is down below in the description, but I think it's something like $15.95 on Amazon. So, but check it out. I talk a lot more about other items that you can help preserve your wealth and such. And then also coming up here in 3 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm going to be speaking at the Mountain Readiness Expo, and it's going to be taking place in Harmony, North Carolina. So if you're in that area, folks, come on out and come visit. And I'm going to be talking about dehydrating. I'm going to be teaching I think 3 classes. I'm going to be teaching every day. So come on out to the Mountain Readiness Expo and come join me. There's going to be a lot of great speakers there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're in that North Carolina area, come on out and visit. So I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I really encourage the comments and everything. I want to hear what you're doing. What are some of your ideas and everything? Because more collectively that we can start thinking and talking and looking at what other tangible assets the common man can get, the better. Because I think the barter and trade system is going to be coming up here soon. I mean, like it or not, China has tried to do their digital currency and it's failed. I think Nigeria tried to do a digital currency and it failed. And so if China did it and it failed, it's still out there, it's still going, but it's not doing very well. The people want tangible assets, so that being physical paper. So with the digital currencies and everything, freedom is lost. And so even in communist China, the people are not accepting. It's just not rolling well, and so it's failing there. But that's everything, folks. Just thank you so much. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share, and then ring that little bell so that you get notified whenever we put up a new video or we go live. And again, just thank you so much. What do we got here? Michael, good morning. Hey, Michael, again. Not too much late with Bud Light. Yes, Bud Light is not a good tangible asset. So good one, Michael. I love it. You're making me laugh. And so thank you so much again, Michael. Michael number 2, and we're Michael number 1. And hey, y'all have a great day. So Raymond Mhor, Kilted Prepper. We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless. And Kilt on.